All right, mates, let's have a proper chinwag. Next Tuesday is National Voter Registration Day here in the U.S., and I need your help, because I'm knackered. Let's collectively push the narrative that voter registration and election participation of our citizens is imperative to the overall health and well-being of our democracy. I'm chuffed to bits about a few articles I've read from multiple trusted sources that women have registered to vote at a pace not seen before since the Supreme Court decision that overturned our right to abortion health care. And although many are young voters, the 18 to 29-year-old demographic is still lagging in registration percentages, which I'm miffed about, really. Let's continue to help keep the momentum going by making sure all eligible voters get registered before it's too late. So let's stop fapping around. We have just 7 more weeks before the election, and some state voter registration deadlines are as early as October 8th. I'll be gutted if you miss a deadline. Sounds like a challenge, doesn't it? 2020 election deniers are a bit dodgy, in my opinion, in strategically targeting positions that will play a critical role in supervising the next presidential election, turning many of the 27 Secretary of State contests this year into expensive, partisan showdowns. Our strategy needs to include amplifying the candidates for Secretary of State that will conduct fair elections, not candidates focused on perpetuating any election fraud narratives. And as a side note, many states' top election officials are appointed by the governor, not elected by the people. So please pay special attention to the governor's races across the country. Florida, Pennsylvania, and Texas are the 3 states this election cycle to keep an eye on and support candidates that will expand voting rights to our citizens, not restrict them. I've chosen to feature candidates and causes this week that are top advocates for preserving and expanding fair voting rights. Arizona Secretary of State Adrian Fontes has spent a lifetime fighting for justice and defending our democracy, highly recognized nationwide for his work revolutionizing Arizona's election system with technology, fair access, and transparency. Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson has been a successful advocate for fair and unbiased redistricting in an effort to end gerrymandering while also supporting constitutional guarantees to increase voter access to the ballot. And the Brennan Center for Justice, first introduced to me by my good friend and past guest, Beth, they work to build an America that is democratic, just, and free. An independent, nonpartisan law and policy institute linked with the NYU School of Law, the Brennan Center is focused on research-based initiatives to strengthen voting rights across our country. Automatic voter registration is just one example of that. If you haven't before, I suggest spending some time on their website to see all the great work they're doing for all of us. All this talk about the upcoming elections is making me feel a wee bit anxious. So I'm taking a cue from Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II, and I'm going to keep calm and vote. In honor of her lifelong service to her beloved country, I'm going to make the Queen's cocktail. It's a bit cheeky. Okay, the Queen's favorite cocktail is 1 part gin and 2 parts Dubonnet, which is a sweet dessert wine. All right, and her favorite gin, I found out, is Gordon's London Dry Gin, which I didn't have already, so I went out and got it, and now I have another bottle of gin in my house. Yay! So 1 part or 1 ounce gin, and then 2 parts, or I'm doing 2 ounces of Dubonnet wine. All right, and 2 more ingredients. It's a super easy one this week. 1/2 of a lemon wheel. You're gonna put that in. And then 2 ice cubes. And you wanna try to put these in right over where the lemon wheel is so the lemon kind of sinks to the bottom. And that is Queen Elizabeth II's favorite cocktail. Oh, lovely. Don't forget to send a few quid over to our 2 Secretary of State candidates, Adrian Fontes in Arizona and Jocelyn Benson in Michigan, and a tad more to the Brennan Center for Justice. Your strategic cocktail donations are bloody awesome. Next week, I'll have a special guest to discuss voting trends in the military, and we'll be making his favorite cocktail, the old-fashioned. Cheers.